all this on growth goals is great. And I think this is really helping set the stage for what we're doing here with the Reframer tool on the website. So people can find that on the site under Tools, Reframer. And it's a short exercise. It takes maybe 7 to 10 minutes. Well, there's a free writing part at the end, and you can set your own time for that. So it's a little bit variable. But the idea here is to help you take a challenge that you're facing and that you might be seeing as a threat and help you to flip it, to see it as an opportunity. And maybe one way of putting it also is just to help you set a growth goal as you're facing that challenge. So maybe we could start here just by outlining the steps that you'll go through on the Reframer. And then Kevin, you can give a sense of the big picture here of what's going on. And then we can go more in detail into each of the steps to show, how to do it better, and what it's doing. So it proceeds in about 5 steps. So the first is to get down to the essence of the challenge. What is the challenge you're facing, and looking at it from the perspective of situation, thought, and feeling, so that you can first clearly define, okay, what do you find so challenging here? What's the essence of it? And then the second is to identify, are you actively engaging the challenge or passively being challenged? And I suppose here the assumption is that if you're seeing the challenge as a threat, you're probably being a little bit passive in the face of the challenge. So just to help reflect on why that's the case and how you can be more active in engaging it.
Yes, really asking, are people feeling overwhelmed?
Yeah.
Are they feeling daunted? So, because that all happens then when you're kind of being challenged by life rather than grabbing the bull by the horns and actively challenging yourself in it.
Yeah. And then now we get to starting to flip, where the next step is asking, okay, how can you grow in the face of the challenge? So this is starting now to get into the reframe. How can you grow? How can you grow the most? How can you see this challenge as an opportunity for growth? And then helping people see, how can this growth enable you to love and serve others either in this challenge or in other challenges that you might face in life? How is this challenge going to help you grow in an ideal that will make you basically, a better person, that you can better serve others? And then the last step is, okay, now how can you be grateful for this task? So for this challenge. And then we give a free writing exercise for people to take a different prompt. We have a bunch of different prompts to choose from and to reflect more deeply on that. So it's an interesting path. Kevin, I wonder if you could comment on this, of getting people from, starting to identify the challenge all the way up to, how can I be grateful for this challenge? So why is gratitude like the height of reframing for you?
I think it means that it's become thoroughly good. This goes back to the very opening lines of the Nicomachean Ethics, where Aristotle says that in every action, we are aiming for some good, to attain some good. So you can only embrace a challenge to the extent that the challenge seems good to you. And it's good, perhaps not in its details, but in its goal, the goal that it's giving you. So you can find any challenge to be appealing if you can find the right goal to aim for and the growth to attain by means of the challenge. So you have to look at a way that transcends this particular challenge. And then that allows you, once you've done that, to say, now, in fact, I see this whole challenge as good. Difficult, yes, perhaps painful. Some elements, might be very hard, but now you can see how, in fact, this is something that is good for you. In fact, one of the free writing things we have at the end says, imagine your future self telling you why you eventually became grateful for this challenge. Use your imagination to list out the ways that you tell yourself that you could have grown in this. But people have to be careful with gratitude, that they don't try to jump to gratitude before they've done the work of reframing. Gratitude is more like a check. It's more like, once you see you're capable of gratitude, the reframe is secure. But you can't force the reframe by saying, oh, I'm so grateful that Aunt Ida is coming to dinner tonight, even though you dread on Ida, to use the classic example. So people sometimes think of reframing as saying in their mind, oh, I'm so grateful for this. But that, of course, becomes rote. And then that isn't capable of transcending your negative predictions. So to go back to the the very beginning, it's really important that people try to put their finger on what about this is the real challenge. As you're going through, is it the situation itself, or is it the thoughts I'm going to have, or is it the feelings I'm going to have? But what makes this so hard? That already gives you a new way of addressing and working with something.